project the screen, the presentation. So we'll be starting in a couple of minutes as more people are joining in. Thanks a lot for joining in today evening for this session. Yeah, am I audible clearly? Okay, great. So good evening, everyone. My name is Ankur Bhatia. I'm from the team Wellcure, and I, along with my colleagues, welcome you for the session today, Healing with Holistic Nutrition, free masterclass with Dr. Gauri. So we are living in very turbulent times, wherein all of us, not only in India but any part of the world, we have realized the importance of our health and how poor health can impact us and our family and the community. And that's what we have seen in last 2.5, 3 years of this pandemic. That people who didn't had good health, who had any chronic disorders, whether it was diabetes, whether it was hypertension, high blood pressure, thyroid, or respiratory conditions, those were the ones who got most affected, and some of them were severely impacted for a long period of time, and unfortunately many of them also lost their life, which was very sad for all of us. And one thing came out in these times, that the foundation of our health is correct nutrition. So nutrition is a very misunderstood word in today's time. People feel, okay, it's about carbohydrates, it's about proteins, but yeah, these are technical names of how scientists have probably given the names of something which already existing in nature for us to understand. But it is a very superficial and incomplete understanding, because nutrition means food. It implies, in the context of food, nutrition for our cells. And what kind of nutrition? Nutrition should be nourishing. So that's how the word probably, the root word is also somewhere comes from nourishing. So whether our cells are getting nourishing, whether they're living in the environment they can thrive and give us health, immunity, and protection, and give us longevity. We are living in times when, due to modern medical development, we are probably living longer, but we are dying younger. So what I mean by dying younger, the diseases which were happening in the 80s or 90s or 70s, like blood pressure or hypertension or other problem, or even problems like arthritis and other conditions, they are now progressively in last 2 to 3 decades, every decade almost, it has been reducing by 10 years. So now we see people having hypertension, thyroid, sugar problem as early as in their 20s, and 30s, which were never heard of. And that's the reason why we came up with this program. And we will be sharing that how right nutrition forms a foundation for our health, and how it plays a critical role, not only as a preventive mechanism, but also healing and curative mechanism. So for those of you who are new to Wellcure, Wellcure is a platform about health and wellness. And Karishma, can you move to the next slide? So it is a natural health community platform of more than 125,000 users. And we have helped more than 2,000 people to reverse their health problems naturally. And we are having more than now it's close to 150 digital products, which include ebooks, online courses, live programs. And, so this is a platform where as a one platform in India, we can definitely say it's one of the leading platform for holistic and natural health. And we aspire to become world's largest platform to reach out to millions of people. So now introducing our expert today. Dr. Gauri. She is, the list is so big of her expertise, and it doesn't not only justify the time we have, but I'll still briefly share. So she holds MSc in Food and Nutrition from Bangalore University. She was a topper there. She is a certified nature cure therapist from International Institute of Mahayoga and Natural Hygiene, a certified diabetes educator, as well as she holds PhD in Yoga and Life Sciences from SVYasa Yoga University, one of the leading universities in India for the subject, and certified sports nutritionist. She also holds a diploma in nutrition for health promotion and disease prevention, and diploma in nutrition and health education from INNOVE. Besides that, she has been, a teacher and a lecturer in many universities and colleges teaching about nutrition, and also an independent practicing nutritionist. So the best part about her is that she integrates the knowledge of modern science and modern nutrition, and integrates the nature cure science, the holistic nutrition science, to simplify the complex information and to make it meaningful for people. So it's not about, as I said, about carbohydrates, protein, or low fat, a high protein diet. So that does form one part of the of her approach, but the way it reaches a common person is what's her expertise is, to simplify complicated issues and our confusion, and make it something which one can actually pursue. So with that, I would like to hand over the session to you, Dr. Gauri, and we'll all keen to hear your insights about the holistic nutrition.
Thanks, Ankur. Right. My respectful pranams. And on behalf of myself and Wellcure, I thank each one of you who have joined us this evening. So as Ankur said very rightly, a lot of what he said is the collection of what we are trying to do. And I was trained as a nutritionist to look into body as its parts, to look into specific diseases and disorders and treat them with specific nutrients or superfoods or therapeutic diets. But very early in life, I understood and knew that these reductionist ways of working with the human body does not give us results, because both the human body and the food are hugely complex, and they interact with its individual parts and work in synergy. So this breaking down of the body into its organ systems and the food into its components is not going to give us the results. We fail badly because it does not work in isolation. It has to be looked into as whole as possible, whole of the body, and the food as wholesome food. This is the crux of the matter. And I had a huge influence during my growing up years from my father, who is a naturopath and a yoga exponent, besides being a biochemistry professor. So his work and his knowledge had a huge impact on me and gave me a strong foundation. And there was no way or no chance of undermining our own traditional systems. And I chose Nature Cure and the yogic philosophy of food, because these two are the only philosophies which talk or deal with enhancing health. They don't talk about diseases. They don't deal with diseases. They talk about enhancing health. And that's what interests me. And I have blended these two philosophies into the fundamentals of modern medical nutrition. And as Ankur rightly said, it makes it more complete and more meaningful. Well, this is what we have to actually offer. And when I say that this course, don't think that I'm going to teach something out of the world or something nobody else knows. Absolutely no. I'm going to pick up the basic facts, principles, and concepts from all these three philosophies and blend it together in the required systematic way to make it more complete and meaningful. Secondly, I'm going to simplify the knowledge of nutrition to such an extent that anybody from any field or background can digest and assimilate it. All that formal education, which I learned 5 + 7 years of understanding, is what I have put together in this course. Both my learnings and unlearnings in these 25 odd years is what makes this course. And every single thing I speak is evidence-based. What do I mean when I say that? It's either taken from a text or a research paper, or from my experience of dealing with thousands of clients in these 25 odd years. So their own stories or their experience sharing, all these are the ones which I use in communicating all this understanding of mine to all of you. And the facts which I teach here will never change with time nor research, because they are so fundamental. Any amount of research and time will not change this. And the best part of this course is the adopting of it. No, information is all over the place, but it is not enough to have it in the head. It is necessary to adopt it into our lives. So every single thing I teach on a daily basis, assignments are given where it is adopted. And finally, the certification is given based on how much and what the client or the participant has adopted. So this is an overview of what we plan to do in the course. Now, why eat healthy? Today, well, last century, we dealt with infectious diseases. This century, we suffered with lifestyle disorders and the degenerative disorders. But at this moment, we have a deadly combination of both of them. That's very sad and unfortunate. And as Ankur was saying, it has become quite fatal and quite pandemic in the sense, both of them. Both of them seem like is our making. Of course, with the nexus of lot more people like the health industry, the medical industry, the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry, then the governments and the media, everybody together. If we had attacked these lifestyle disorders, just like we attacked the COVID-19, I think we would have got rid of all of them by now. But anyway, none of these parts of this nexus are interested, because nobody gets benefit out of it. So it is for you and me to understand the scenario and take charge of our lives and health and do something towards it. Don't wait for somebody out to come and help us. We are already in a helpless, hopeless situation, and it is not going to end here. Children and grandchildren of COVID-19 are going to come and be part with us. So it is very important to get healthy so that they just pass away like any other flu and do not affect us, our families, and our loved ones. How do we do this? It is very simple to say that as simple as eating right and living right is going to take us towards health. Is it that simple? Yes, absolutely yes. Because I have worked with thousands of clients in these few years, and I know for sure what it means. And also I should say that body is meant naturally, innately to be in health, not in ill health. This reminds me of a beautiful small little story, which was published in Amar Chitrakatha, and I have heard it from His Holiness Sri Raghaveshwara Bharati Swamiji, and it's a beautiful little story. Let me narrate that. Once a sage was taking a dip in the holy water, and when he took some water in his palms, he saw a little baby mouse in his palm. He felt very pity, and he said, I'm going to save this mouse. Took the mouse to the banks and was just about to leave the mouse. He saw an eagle roaming around. So he said, he closed his fist and brought him back to the ashram. And here he did not know how to take care of a mouse. He said, I better turn this mouse into a human baby so that it's easier for me to handle. And with his yogic powers, turned the mouse into a little female child. Now, by the day, he had huge attachment to this little child, and she grew up. As time passed and she reached the marriageable age, he decided, he was very attached now, loved her, and he said, I'm going to get the best groom to my daughter. Then he decided to ask the sun god. He takes the daughter and reaches the sun god and asks the sun. But this daughter is not really happy with sun god. She counter questions him. Do you know anybody more stronger than yourself? And the sun god says, yes, clouds. They can cover me anytime they want to. And the sage and the daughter reach the clouds. And the same question is asked, will you marry my daughter? And the daughter is still not greatly satisfied. And the daughter says, is there anybody more stronger than you? And the cloud says, yes, the wind can blow me off. Meet the wind. And both of them reach the winds. And the wind says, yes, there is a mountain which I cannot shake. So the duo reach the mountains. And when the daughter asks the mountain, I am still not happy. Do you have anybody more stronger? The mountain replies, yes, a little mouse can make a hole into me. And this girl is thrilled. She says, I want to marry that mouse. So what I mean to say is, she was a mouse originally. That original innate qualities inside us don't disappear just because superficially something happens. So this innate quality is inside us, and all we need to do is eat right and live right, and we get back to health. Nature Cure beautifully defines health and disease in the sense of it does not have a definition for disease. It says, if there is health, disease cannot exist. Let me give you an example. Like there is darkness, and darkness could have been there for thousands of years. But the minute we bring in light, darkness disappears. Exactly like that, our body is meant to be in health. Because of our wrong habits, eating and living, the health has deteriorated, and I enhance health and the diseases disappear. It is as simple as this. Now, how do we know if I am at health? Should I reach a huge pathology lab get my body work done and blood work done and check my parameters? If it were so, just think of this. We probably know few hundreds of what parameters to check and what is the range of normalcy, and try to drug ourselves, supplement ourselves or something to reach that magical number. But are there only these many reactions happening inside our body every moment, all the time? There could be millions, if not millions, at least thousands of them happening all the time. Who's going to check them? We don't even know them. Who's going to check them? What is their normal range? And how do we correct them? Are we doing anything about that? No, right? Our bodies are intelligent enough and capable enough to repair, heal, and bring back body to health, provided the environment is created. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say when I say eat right and live right. This is where we have deviated, and that's exactly what we need to do. And we have to become responsible for that. We always think that what is put on our plate is what is food, but our texts tell us that there are 5 natural elements which this body is made up of. And because this body is made up of these 5 natural elements, and also whatever inputs come from outside through any of the senses and mind, all of them become food to this body and has a huge influence, either positive or negative, either health or ill health. So we deal with all these 5 natural elements, ether or the space. Well, our gut is never meant to work 24/7. We need breaks between meals through the day and a huge break through the night, and a periodic fasting, complete rest to the gut, for the gut to work to its highest potency, digest the required food and bring out the nutrients, absorb them and utilize them properly. Coming to the next element, air, we have something called pranic system inside our body, just similar to the circulatory system. And this pranic system needs to be in balance, in harmony. It can't have more prana, less prana in any of the areas, or a different direction of flow of prana. It is very important to keep it in balance. How do we do that? Simple yogic practices and pranayama will do the needful for us. And the next element is fire, which is represented by sun. Living in a tropical country like India and taking for granted the sunlight and sun's heat is simply foolishness on our part. It is very, very essential to expose ourselves to the sunlight and sun's heat, because without sun, life cannot exist. Coming to the water, I know we have too many experts giving us advice of how much, how, what kind of water, and I know different kinds of water in the market, but I would say you will not have anybody more better expert than this body you carry. Listen to your body and give what is necessary. Both increasing or decreasing the amount of water more than necessary or less than necessary is quite dangerous. Listen to the body and drink just enough water. Then comes our daily challenges. As a nutritionist, these are the 4 areas I see with every client who walks into my clinic. The first one is what to eat. You know, when I was a little child, if I wanted to eat something and asked my mother, she would literally, minimum she would take is a week to get me that dish. Why? Because she would say, I have to buy this from this place, that from somebody else. And she would make me also run because I wanted it, right? And I would do that. After collecting everything, she would need her space and time to make the dish. And it would be literally a week by the time I would get it. What happens today? It is available so easily, so cheaply. anything, anytime you want. You just even do not have to manifest in your brain. Even before the thought emerges, just call. The Swiggy brings it to your doorstep. You step out of the house, you have every cuisine on every street corner. You get into your offices, God knows the amount of spread you have in your offices. Everything refined. And as Ankur has coined it, the magical term, without fiber, because they're highly processed, highly refined. The natural fiber is absent, and that's exactly what we need and is missing in our diets. How much to eat? Well, I think we have messed with this too much because we have never learned to listen to our bodies and always been told or quantified how much to eat by somebody expert outside, just like me, right? 1 roti, 2 roti, a cup of rice, a cup of dal. Oh my God. By measuring all of these, our anxieties goes to such highs that I can eat only this much. That is the saddest part. Let go of all these quantifying, numbering, and eat right. When you eat right and healthy, you don't have to do any of these quantifying. Eat well, and that is what is required. Who else other than yourself can decide how much you need, right? So listen to yourself. When to eat? We have timed everything. Either we are in this extreme or that extreme, right? I can wake up anytime I want to, or I have set times for everything. Both messes up with our hormonal signals. When do I get hungry? When the earlier meal is completely digested, assimilated, and metabolized, my hunger and satiety hormones come into picture. And that is when hunger is created. If I'm eating all through the day, I have messed up with my signaling of the hormones, and I have to stick to times, right? This is one of the biggest problems when clients reach me. They say they don't even get hungry. They just don't have appetite. Or the other extreme, I cannot stop eating. Because you got habituated to eating such kinds of foods, the refined factory-made foods, high in all the flavors, tastes, textures, salt, fats, flavoring agents, coloring agents, which will touch that part of your brain, asking for more and more and more. I don't know, at least when I was watching TV and young, I would see Saif Ali Khan on some advertisements, with a packet of Lay's chips. He would say, having a huge packet of chips, you can't stop at one. Absolutely, yes, very true. These are made in the factory by thousands of food scientists who know the knowledge of nutrition and the taste. They create such beautiful tastes where you cannot stop. At the beginning, you feel you have control over that. Just like what somebody who's drinking or smoking or drugging tells you. I have control. You feel so. But very soon, it has control over you. When it comes to food, it's more dangerous, I would say, than alcohol or drugs or smoking, because at least those have some societal norms, when, where, what, but these don't have any. We can eat anywhere we want to and everybody will enjoy doing it. So it is necessary to take more caution here. How to eat? Sadly, today, people pay me to teach them how to eat. Eat slowly, chew well, and do it 100%. Eating and shitting are the two things you'll have to do 100% without doing anything else while doing that, if you want the maximum benefit out of it. Going ahead, we need to understand our bodies. There is no other magnificent machine than this body. We can probably not make or replicate it forever. And to understand it gives us great joy. And that is where we start appreciating our systems and also accept what is necessary to do. Today, it's very easy to say, I don't like doing this, I don't want doing this. But when you understand the mechanisms or mechanics of this body, you'll start appreciating it. For example, if you buy a diesel car and fill petrol, will you ever do that? No, because you have paid lakhs of rupees and bought your favorite cars, and you read everything about the car, and you know what to do and what not to do. And you'll never do the other way around, right? Vice versa. Because you don't want to ruin your car and you know it will not run. But when it comes to the bodies, why don't we have this small little common sense of what fuel to add and how much to add? This is because probably we have never read a user's manual for this beautiful system. And that's exactly what is designed and taught the whole of the course, so that you understand what is healthy, what is unhealthy. And because of this knowledge, especially with our generation, we are rational, logical beings. Unless I understand why and what of it, I'm not going to adopt it. My mind is not going to accept it, right? So it becomes very, very important. And then going ahead, as Ankur rightly put it, we should look at food as food. Today, people have forgotten. It is my job to look at food as carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, to understand what my client is doing. It is not everybody's job to look at food as its components. No business for us to look at food as components. It is very, very important for us to go back to our roots and look at food as food. Of course, in the course, I might break it down to teach you not to learn that way. So it's very important to learn about the foods. Coming to the cereals and grains, those are the ones which give us carbohydrate. And I know for sure what you hear very often from the media and even the well-meaning people like doctors, your physicians and nutritionists about low carbohydrate diet or no carbohydrate in dinner and whatnot. How sad. If this is the group which is going to fuel me physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically through the day and the night, do you think I should go low on them? All I need to understand is what are the healthy carbohydrates and unhealthy carbohydrates. This is where the fiber comes into picture, the secret ingredient. Going on to legumes and nuts, which gives us proteins. Today, it's craziness of proteins which are leading us to, unhealthy guts, then autoimmune disorders, allergies, intolerances, and many, many other issues. I'm right now working with a little boy, an international tennis player, and he came to me with a few allergies on the skin. The whole problem was increased amount of proteins. He's an international player, right? So the best of the dietitians of the country went on increasing the proteins. And when he developed all of these allergies, the only solution was to go on to an allergy test. And believe me when I say this, it was an endless list. And the parents did not know what else to feed the child. And finally, they reached me, and I've been working with the parents and the boy for, say, 1.5, 2 months. All the allergies, intolerance is gone. He is able to eat all the foods which were listed as allergic. And you can hear what he says in the next couple of slides. Before that, I want you to hear to an eminent, one of the greatest players of our times.
Nobody has ever touched the tennis. I've experienced prior to 2010 Australian Open many struggles on the court, respiratory problems, inability to cope with the heat, endurance issues. Even though I was training hard, I was feeling that I'm losing.
What happened? Oh,
Nobody has. I've experienced prior to 2010 Australian Open many struggles on the court, respiratory problems, inability to cope with the heat, endurance issues. Even though I was training hard, I was feeling that I'm losing that kind of fuel in my tank. I was feeling weaker, and then all of a sudden, the vision. It became different. I didn't see the court as wide as it was at the beginning of the match, and I had blurred vision. I couldn't catch breath after each point was finished, and in no time he was a winner of the match. And I remember that between fourth and fifth set, I went out to throw up, and felt my stomach was aching. I felt my energy was so low, and my nose was blocked, and there was plenty of things going on. And that was not the first time. I didn't understand that there is this nutrition part that was blocking me in a way, because I wasn't eating correctly, even though I thought that I was. Coming from the culture where we're based a lot on the gluten, which is in the wheat, and we have bakeries in each corner. So I had breads and different bread baskets each day, even after eating pizza, and I would have a little bread on the side. That's how integrated that kind of culture of eating was in our region, and also a lot of meat and sugar, refined sugar. But I didn't know that would cause, all of these things would cause that kind of a feeling of being helpless on the court, and feeling of being powerless. So then I met Dr. Igor Chetevich, and he has actually watched that match in Australian Open earlier that year, and he felt the need to get in touch with me and to help me out. And he received the data that I have a great sensitivity on gluten, no celiac disease, but great sensitivity, intolerance to gluten, to dairy products, and obviously to refined sugar. I had to, sit down, rethink, what is going on.
right? So it's so important, and it makes a huge difference. Even a international player of his caliber does not need that kind of supplements, which people today just going to a gym for an hour start taking, right? It is all a misinformation, because protein sells. And this is exactly what I received from this little boy. Let me read it for you. He says, I, Aditya Jain, feel honored to have worked with Dr. Gauri Rokkam. I was suffering with many allergies and skin patches problem. I also had many misconceptions about protein as a tennis player. After trying many kinds of diets, took Dr. Gauri Rokkam's Holistic Nutrition e-course. That's exactly what we are talking about, which is offered on this platform, and followed it with her personal consultation, Heal Thyself. I can only say, well, I am reading it myself. I'm sorry, but I'm reading it. It's extraordinarily great. Dr. Gauri Rokkam made things so simple to understand and adopt that it has become my new lifestyle. I will say, only if blessed you will reach Dr. Gauri Rokkam. I'm very happy and fully satisfied with my working with her. The word holistic itself is enough to tell the height and depth of knowledge and confidence she has. Yes, wholesome is felt and delivered by her. I'm eating all foods that were listed as intolerance, and also free from extra extracted protein. He's all on natural foods. And I have not lost weight nor muscle during this process. I feel light in the body and the gut. My energy and flexibility also has increased. Very happy to learn about Panchabhutas and incorporating it in my life. So this is what the tennis player after working with me for 2 months, had to say. Right? Going on. When people reach me, when I check what they're eating, they're hardly eating any fruits. When I ask them, they say, yes, I eat. When I ask them when, weekends. Vegetables and green leafy vegetables, I look at their plates, there will be 2 pieces. This is what is missing. Fats and oils, we have so much of data floating around every single day. And as if that's not enough, the research data every day and little beautiful red hearts on the bottles of every oil. The housewife does not know which oil to use, how much to use, but they know all the scientific names, PUFAs, MUFAs, omega-3s, omega-6, omega-9. They can tell me the ratios. I have forgotten it long back, but they can tell me the ratios of how much and what I should consume. Very sad to see this state of affairs. We need to know what are the healthy oils. We don't need the bottled oils and fats at all. Our body needs huge amount of fats because our brains are made up of fats. Our nervous system is made up of fats, but not the oils and the way we see. It needs all the natural forms of oils. Simple sugars, these are the biggest threat today. Let's learn how they can create havoc in our body and create diseases and disorders. And what are the alternatives? Should we stop eating sweets? Absolutely no. This is one of the greatest joys we have while eating. Definitely not to stop. Coming to animal products. Yes, even today my textbooks declare that animal products are superior in protein and complete proteins, including dairy. And today, the last 3 decades of research on animal products is showing horrifying data, which Nature Cure and yogic philosophy of food has been telling for thousands of years. I still remember when I was doing my master's in one of the most prominent hospitals of Bangalore, I presented data on dairy and said how harmful they are. Everybody laughed at me and they just dismissed it. And today, the same scientific bodies have come ahead and proved how harmful they are. It's better we open our eyes and minds and adopt them. Then finally, you'll learn how to design your own healthy plate and to your loved ones in the family. What components make a healthy, balanced diet, which will give all the nutrients required by the body on every meal basis. It's not, right to eat healthy meal once in a way. It is essential to eat every meal a healthy meal. And this is one of the biggest, blunders done by the nutrition science, counting calories. I would say stop counting calories and start counting nutrients. Where am I losing my nutrition? At the soil level, or at the harvest level, or at the storage level, transportation, then the marketeers, and in my house, how do I process them? Where am I losing nutrients is what we need to count, not the calories. How stupid is that? It is very, very important to listen to you, because every meal, the needs of the body change depending on my physical activity, my mental moods, the climate, the season, the physical activity, hundreds of things. How can somebody out there decide you eat 2 rotis or 3 rotis or 10 rotis? Nobody has a right to do so, nor should you allow anybody to do so, right? And coming to the lifestyle disorders, yes, is there a connection between nutrients and the lifestyle disorders? Of course. Right now, I'm not getting into research. Common sense. Obesity, increase of a particular nutrient, the fats. Type 2 diabetes, increased huge amounts of fiberless, refined, processed products, and the simple sugars. Constipation, again the magic word, the fiber, and all the gut disorders for that matter. Hypertension, again, because of the less blood flow. What is the reason for less blood flow? There is not enough fiber. Dyslipidemia and cardiovascular diseases because of the high fat content, and also all those inflammatory foods we consume. It is not the cholesterol. Cholesterol is harmless, innocent. It is just moving around in the blood. It is necessary for the body. But the inflammation and the foods which cause inflammation damage the inner layers of the blood vessels and cause these cholesterol and all other particles moving in the blood to get attached. And that is where the process of atherosclerosis starts, leading us to different problems of the heart and brain. And again, the magical word fiber. Without them, constipation, mother of all diseases of the guts, right from hemorrhoids to cancers, because you are unable to throw out all that what is necessary to be thrown out. All that which is in the large intestine, the colon, is unnecessary, unwanted, toxic, carcinogenic stuff. It needs to be thrown out of the colon as soon as possible. And this is where fiber comes into picture, and it is very essential. And finally, we understand the yogic philosophy of food, the sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic foods, how our ancient people had figured out that foods have a huge influence on the mind. Today, it is not about the diet, let me tell you. Diet has a huge part, but the bigger part is here in the thoughts. If we can change at the thought level, not at the plate level, is where we will succeed. If you're still struggling to change your plate, you will always fail. So it is essential to deal with the mind, because mind is what is responsible for what we eat, what we don't eat, how we do and how we don't do. So let's understand all about these. And I share a number of tools which will help us adopt whatever we learn through the course at the end of the course. This is what I have to offer. And I seriously thank Wellcure and team for running my courses. They do have both the recorded ones for people who don't have time and they want to do it at their own convenience, and also the live courses. So if it is for you to choose to suffer or not to suffer through these courses. Thank you so much. Back to the Wellcure team.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Gauri, for as I said, simplifying the complex issues and so much of misinformation that we all are facing in today's time, where we get a barrage of ads, on ads or articles in newspaper, or so many varied opinions. But these are opinions not backed by logic or science. So that's what you provide, and I think education about nutrition, about health, should be the most important education, as important as math, science, English, whatever we have studied, because this is something which stays from the time we are born, to the time we go off from this world. So that is maybe maths or science or something are important, useful for certain times, for certain careers, but health is something which is foundation for everything. And no amount of advances in technology can take the power from us or freedom from us to take the decision and to equip ourselves with this knowledge. So I would like to now share about the programs we have on offer with Dr. Gauri. So Dr. Gauri, you need to just stop sharing so that we can upload the... Yeah, so in terms of, we have two offerings. One is the e-learning program, which is a program with around 11 hours of content, which we have broken down into different segments, different modules. So the first segment is, why eat healthy, impact of food on all 4 levels, the parameters and assessment of status of our health, facts about processed and refined food. So that this is the section which sets you going about, sets the foundation for the next level. The next slide. Then, we go into, as Dr. Gauri has expertise about the nature cure, as she was mentioning. So nature cure is about the power of 5 elements. So you will get exposure about the 5 elements, how they have application to our health, how do they relate to this. And this is how she's done very beautifully, that she has integrated the ancient philosophy about 5 elements and joined with the, I would say, integrated and given a explanation through the eyes of a modern science, so which validates the beliefs which we, our ancestors and our, system had. So this will be 5 elements, and each, module is filled with the practical part. So there is theory so that you understand the working of it, and then there is a practical lesson with each and every module and lesson you will find. So next slide. So then we go in depth about macro and micronutrients. So you'll clarify all your concerns about, those carbohydrates and, fats, trans fat, proteins, which she touched upon just now, cholesterol, oils and fats. So I would say there'll be hardly any doubt. I can definitely say with a lot of confidence, because a lot of doctors, medical doctors, have taken up this program, and health professionals, and for them also it is an eye-opening. So this is a very amazing session which she covers each and every aspect, so that nothing is left for you to have that doubt. So then next slide. Then there are practical applications that what is the role of food in healing, in obesity, gut disorders, hypertension, concepts about healing. So once you have the foundation right about nutrition, about 5 elements, now this is the module about application, because knowledge is waste if you don't know how to apply it. So this there she talks about the practical applications about it. And then she brings in the third element, which is the yoga philosophy. So talks about sattvic, rajasic and tamasic foods, role of mind, the impact of mind in our health decision, behavioral and right health choices. So that is this section about. So this makes it more than, I would say, nutrition, because it is covering each and every dimension, from the nutrients to how to go about it, and the power of 5 elements. Yeah, next slide. So so as I said, it has 11 plus hours of pre-recorded lessons, crafted videos. We'll be giving an ebook also to you, and then you'll get a certificate also. There is a small test so that we want to make sure that you absorb and assimilate the knowledge, and you have 1 year access to it. We would like to just play a short clip from the content, so you get a feel that how does that those videos are, because we have detailed it quite well. So Karishma, can you play that video? And this video is about fiber, because the secret ingredient, or of one of the things which we don't knew about fiber, which we the nutritionists or dietitians feel it's nutritionally a waste, but how important it is, that's what she shares in this thing, why it becomes difficult for people to lose weight if they're not having fiber.
Main job is to transport this glucose to the cells, but it has secondary functions. What is the secondary function? It's an anabolic hormone. What is anabolism? To build. Catabolism is to break down. Anabolism is to build something inside the body. Because it's an anabolic hormone that is used for building, if you see insulin in higher amounts, most of the time, lot of changes happen inside the body. Now, even before going to that, let me tell you, because this insulin is in higher amounts, brain thinks that something is being built. When something is being built, there should be a stock first. You remember I was making this statement? There should be storage. And what is the storage material in our body? It is the fat. So every time we spike up insulin, brain understands it as something is being built, and it switches off all those mechanisms which will burn fat or break down fat, and it switches off all these mechanisms and it switches on the mechanisms which store fat. When the brain has decided and switched on and off these mechanisms, even when you ulta latka yourself, you will not lose a gram of weight. You have seen many people, and some of you were also discussing that I don't lose weight. Why? Because you are spiking up blood sugars by eating fiberless food, which in turn spikes up insulin, which will not allow fat burning or breaking down. What I'm trying to say is you cannot lose weight when you spike up insulin. You have to keep your insulin level very low. For that, all you need to do is eat fiber food. That's it. If you've understood that, and this little concept of why, that's good enough. See, let me give you an example to make it more better to understand. See, in Bangalore, we see this onion scarcity very often. What do we do during onion scarcity? Every time I see some onion selling on the street, I will stop and pick it up. I might have 4 kgs lying in the house, but I'm so scared. Every time I see onion, I'll just pick it up, right? And while using, say I need 4 onions to make one dish. I'll say, no. There is scarcity of onion. I will use only 1 for now. Correct? How did I conserve my onions? 1, by buying more. 2nd, by using less. Correct? Exactly like that. Whenever insulin is high, body behaves like that. Body conserves fat. So how does it do that? Breaking down fats becomes slower, and using fats also becomes lesser. Say, for example, I'm just putting a number. I need 5 calories to sit. My body will say, no. I cannot afford 5 calories. Who knows when she's going to eat? So let me use only 1 calorie and do away with it. Okay? So it changes its way of behaving. That is why it becomes very important not to increase your insulin levels. So that was about obesity and
this is just a glimpse of those, 11 hours of amazing, information. I'm sure for a lot of you, it would have been, a new explanation, but very scientifically establishing that, the importance of, fiber. And, we all struggle, many of us with, not able to lose weight. And we keep speaking about high carb, low fat diet, but no one talks about fiber, and that's what she explained. So Karishma, can you project the slide? This is the e-learning course about, and you can access it through an app, through your mobile, so that it's convenient. You can access through your iPads, you can access through your laptop. So that gives you that flexibility, whether you're traveling or wherever you are, you can keep reviewing and doing the course, and you can easily follow, because we have broken down in small chapters for you. Next slide. So the live version is the expanded version of this program, where almost 18 to 20 hours of content is there, and she will be expanding. And this is a 13th batch. I would say people associate in India 13 with unlucky, but I would say this is the lucky 13, and it's a testimonial that over 250 people have taken up this program and helped themselves immensely. So in this,
we can't hear you. Ankur?
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Sorry. So I don't know where I missed it, but I was saying that 13 is said unlucky in India, and people believe that. But I would say this is the luckiest 13th batch. One should look into this perspective, and every batch I have seen that Dr. Gauri has evolved the program, bringing new elements as because she herself is a continuous learner, and she's not someone who's a theoretical expert, because she does a lot of practical counseling as well. So she bringing those elements into the program, and she I would not say even handhold, she guides and coaches you through this journey of 3 weeks when you are under in this program. So in this we have sessions every alternate day, and 6 to 8 p.m. around 2 hours session, which she takes up one segment, and then there is Q&A, and there is a WhatsApp group where she makes sure that learning is not only theoretically learned, but she'll give you a task to do it, and make sure that everyone does it. So this will be the sessions about the live program. So she's already gone through the program, but we'll share the brochure also for you who want to just revisit, and share the recording of today's session also. Yeah, next slide. So what is the program offer? So the program offer is, the value of the program is 10,000 rupees. And on top of it, we are giving you a one natural recipe ebook, 500, an exclusive, e-learning alumni group, which is, monitored by Wellcure and Dr. Gauri. So the value for that is far more, but yeah, for understanding, I put it 2,000 rupees. So the total package value is 12,500, and we are offering it. This offer is only for the webinar, participants, and this is for 5,249 only, and this is only valid for next 3 days. This will not be on offer later on. And so this is on the live course. The live course, actual price is 18,749. You get alumni group, as I said, a natural recipe ebook. Plus, you're also now offering a natural cooking program, because that's something which feedback came from past participants, and it's not possible to cover the intense program, the cooking. And she does touch upon the principles, but now you will get support through a national cooking program as well. So the package value there is 22,249, and being offered for 14,999 to all the participants. Webinar, exclusive price is there. So now we would like to just play a small testimonial of past participants, so that you get about the things, and we'll just share.
Just took me a few seconds to decide that I want to do this course. In terms of content and cost, this is the mother of all courses, abundant in content and very low in cost. And the returns from this course are right from the first class itself. All other classes are bonus. So it starts right from there.
Ever since I became a mother, I wanted to start it right for my kid. And I think I hit a gold mine. I'm seeing some changes in my parents. They're going and taking a sunbath upstairs. And my husband is not ordering food from outside. So a lovely course. Thank you.
You have added so much of the value to everyone's life. And through us, it will be flowed to our family and friends and society. That is the base part of this course. We will not forget this. It is a lifetime education. We have taken lot many education during whole life, but this was the best one.
I had a lot of questions about, like I'm not able to do it correctly. Am I instead harming my health, by not doing it correctly? So a lot of those questions, like you said, will get answered by the end of the course. They have actually got answered. And I'm very grateful that I attended this course. I'm very happy for it. And it filled those gaps of knowledge for me.
Dr. Gauri, what you have taught me and rest of the folks in the course is something that I wouldn't have learned even if I read 10 or 100 books.
The best thing what I liked about this course is it's designed so beautifully because it starts with Panchabhutas. So everything like healings, nutrition, everything is covered. And in the end, like how you have covered the mind part also. So I guess how to take this forward. So sustainability of anything is always important.
So it was like learning a new language through which I'll be able to share all the wisdom to the to people who are inclined to science and who are doctors.
Thanks. So, it just reiterates that variety of, people we had, taking up this program from healthcare, professionals to, corporate executives to, the value is an investment. I would say this is not a cost. It may not be right term to use the cost. These are the two investments. So now I think with this we'll now take up some questions, but I think common question which has come in past and coming right now also, people are confused about which one to take. See, the base content is same. It's just that, live course, e-learning course is static. And in live course, as I said, there is some new elements which are there, but the foundational elements are same, but with some new information and certain new components have been added in the live program. And the difference is, like e-learning is more like static, like a book. And, in live program, you will have her as, live teacher to you. But yes, e-learning gives you flexibility. People who can't, who are working professionals, or, it's difficult for them to commit that much time on only those days, because in live program, we do not provide recording for a reason. So, so that's why this option is available. And that's why different price points are there. Given the investment which is there from Dr. Gauri in terms of her time and effort. So is there. We have shared the link, and you can scan the code on your screen and make the payment, or you can make the payment through GPay and Paytm. So all the options are available. So now we'll take up the questions which has come. First, I will take up the question which has come in the form. So Dr. Gauri, there is a question on vitamin B12 and vitamin D. The person has said that, they have low B12 and low vitamin D. How can we increase naturally, and how can we can clean colon naturally? So I think you have touched upon some of these aspects, but it will be good if you can answer this question.
Yeah. Well, first I would definitely want to say that unless you understand the concepts behind it, and knowing the answer is not going to take you anywhere. And I also cannot explain in a great detail without explaining the concept. But coming to vitamin D, we have sunlight. If you can learn how, when, how much to take to create the vitamin D in your body naturally, that'll be the answer. And B12 need not come from outside. The microorganisms in our gut can create the B12. So it is for us to create these microorganisms, the beneficial bacteria and the microorganisms, microflora in the gut, especially in the colon, so that they make B12. And how do you create them in numbers and diversity? Our secret word, fiber. Yeah. Was there another question? When there are too many questions, I forget.
Yeah, no, sure. I'm taking up the question. So the next one is about, can I able to form my own diet chart or for my family, so I think the answer is yes, because it's not about diet chart. It's about how to make a plan, and you can definitely go for yourself and for your family as well. There's some question about, I think, dairy and milk and curd to kids. She has answered that animal products is something which we don't promote, and she goes in depth in the program, right, Dr. Gauri, about the milk and curd,
The understanding is what is important. So answer is yes or no. That doesn't make any difference at all. You need to understand why, what of it. And that's the whole program about. Yes, just to answer your question, if it's not good for you, how can it be good for your children? Absolutely no, right?
Yeah. And the meat and dairy industry have fed us with information which has been biased, without revealing the proper facts and figures and the science behind it, which will be revealing. There is question about cancer, and this is a group of similar questions, but you can have one answer. The question related to how can I strengthen my nervous system? Are there any specific diet for breast cancer survivors? So these questions relate. How to follow diet for regular stomach ache, mouth ulcer? So the healing, or the disease based questions. So can you answer that? How this course can help people with these conditions or different other conditions as well?
Right. Whether it is cold or cancer, the philosophy is the same. You eat right and live right. Change all your wrong habits into the right habits, and body will take over and ensure to repair and heal. So whatever the problem is, whether it is one disease or a multiple diseases, any amount of complications, any number of years, if you start eating right and living right, it just takes a few weeks to few months for the body to reverse, I repeat, reverse all the diseases and disorders. Even though the medical industry talks about you have to live with it, right, from diabetes or cardiovascular diseases, dyslipidemia, whatever. But when you start eating and living right, you can reverse all of those disorders, because we have created them with our wrong ways of living and eating.
So yeah, so I think that has been answered. And there is question about certification. So certification is, yes, we will be providing certification both in e-learning and the live program. And see, is this certification valid to a coach? Yes, that does add a certification value, because for us certification is important for us to show that you have acquired that knowledge, but it is the education which is what we are providing. And right now you can have that certification as well. So I think I've already answered that there is no difference in terms of content, in terms of e-learning and live portion. The live has the live teacher with you, giving you that component, answering your questions, through video, Zoom sessions, through live, and hand holding you through the entire journey.
Correct.
So that's
those are the two differences: interaction, live interaction, and also monitoring on an everyday basis. Whatever assignments have been given, you start doing it, adopting it, and sharing it in the group. And that's very essential part of the course. So that interaction and sharing and getting assessed and getting corrected with whatever you are sharing is what is the advantage in the live course.
Yeah. Great. So I think, it is, there are a lot of questions which keep coming about lifestyle disorder, whether it is arthritis, and people are asking specific, but we've already answered, so the answer to all the questions, whether you have diabetes or whether you have hypertension or Parkinson or any other condition or arthritis. So the answer is yes, this course will be useful as a very important foundation to your health, starting off your health journey. And their question about whether you can upgrade from e-learning to live course. Yes, you can think about it, but live is something which happens in 4 to 5 times in an year. So that is something which is there. So if you have already bought e-learning earlier and you want to upgrade, you can get in touch with us. We'll see how best we can help you. But if you are not available in those times, I suggest you start with, e-learning course for sure. So the live course is starting on 28th of March to 18th April. The sessions there are from Monday to Friday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So these are the timings. Can I consult others? So yeah, consultation is fine. That's one-on-one consultation, but having a group program is different. So e-learning program means book or recorded videos. It means it is both. So as I mentioned that in e-learning program as well as in live program, you will get the ebook which you can download. You will get access to the recorded videos which you can't download. You can only watch, but you have full 1 year access, which is quite sufficient time to go through it again and again. And then you have alumni group where Dr. Gauri is there to guide you both for e-learning as well as for live program. E-learning more to answer your queries, and live program to handheld you through the journey. So so I think yeah, it is similar. Monica, I've already answered this question that yes, the base content is same, but the difference is being the live teaching and handholding through the entire journey. No, so the sessions, the live classes are held thrice a week: every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, starting from 28th of March from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So right now there is no offline course, but we hope that in future we'll have something like that. But the live course is as good as very as close as possible you can get to a live course, because that gives you flexibility that wherever you are. For many people, either due to cost factor and to travel and other reasons, that gives you flexibility that you have to invest 6 hours for 3 weeks each week, and that is much more easier than probably going down spending 4 or 5 days. So the worth, the content worth is far more than 20 hours or 11 hours which is being offered. So it is a lifetime health wisdom you are getting. And as I mentioned that this program is about is an investment for you and for your family. And unfortunately the kind of spiraling and exponential cost which we face even for a single medicine or a x-ray or a blood test, it is is nothing is what we are getting, because that is something gives you some maybe diagnostic or some whatever is happening in your body, or some medicine which may give you short-term relief but will have side effect. But this is something which is not allowing you to reach that stage, or it's something which is giving you that power that you can even cure from many of the condition. And that has happened in our program, that those people have followed her guidance as she guides, have benefited immensely in their condition. And some of the testimonials also you saw, and we'll share more in the group for you to. So Monica, you can get in touch with us. We'll try and coordinate, if you're seeking a personal consultation with her, we'll share the details. Yes, you can consult with her in person as well. So if there is any other question, we'll be happy to take up, and you can email us, you can post in the group. Yes, those who want to book and pay the balance before the live course start, we are happy to look into that option. So please get in touch with us on the numbers which have been given, or you can email us at elearning@wellcure.com or post in the group. So all the forums are available for you. I've typed in the email ID as well. So I'll just now close this session, but reiterate that It is something you've gone through the program about the lifestyle disorders, the importance of nutrition, the secret ingredient, the fiber, which you all ignored, and the difference between the diet and the holistic nutrition. I hope that has given you clarity. And still not, we are available to answer your queries. And these are the two options for you to invest in your health for lifetime: the e-learning program, which is 5,249, and the live program 14,999. Yes, answer to this to fatty liver is also yes. That will also be, the course will be relevant to you. So so thanks a lot, Dr. Gauri, for giving your time to all of us and opening us to another dimension about health, which many of us were not aware of. And thanks a lot. And we hope to see some of you for e-learning or for live program. And we still have some time. So, but the offer is only valid till 26 February. So don't miss it. And the team is available to help you out through the session. We'll share the recording in a couple of hours once it is uploaded, and we'll share the link with you for you to revisit these things and course details again as well. Thanks a lot, Dr. Gauri. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankur. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Thanks a lot.